on you in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 610 FloWrestling Radio Live. Joined once again by James Dean. He's got his Topo Chico and his axe. I'm sure he'll throw over his shoulder later in the show.
What's Topo Chico?
Delicious
that's Austin
carbonated
thing.
mineral water beverage.
Got it. They don't have that, just Austin.
That's free pub for Topo Chico.
No free ads. Of course, whenever anyone has those, Nomad used to have them on here all the time. And yesterday, everyone's like, "Oh, are you drinking a beer, JD? Are you drinking a beer in the morning?"
Just hydrating.
Ben, what's going on, man?
Tom Brady was getting good and hydrated yesterday, Kyle.
Yes, he was.
Videos?
Yes, that was
TB12
awesome.
method.
Yeah, that was great. Did you see him throw the Lombardi trophy from one boat to the other?
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh my gosh.
I saw a few other videos.
Yeah.
He was celebrating.
Yeah. Hey, the guy's got 7 Super Bowl rings. I mean,
Yeah.
if someone deserves to celebrate, it's that guy.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty awesome. Gronk was doing his thing. That was fun to see. So, Ben, we had some news. I don't know, not brag, but just happened after the show yesterday.
Right after the show, made you look like a fool.
It made me look like a total fool because everything that we had been hearing was that Greg Kirkfleet was doing well, and they were more hopeful than after the injury first occurred that he could possibly be back this season.
throwing you off the scent.
And maybe he still is. Maybe this is
maybe they're tricking us again.
Maybe he heard you say that yesterday on the show and said, "I need to put a stop to this.
I need to make these guys look like idiots." It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, he said that he's likely done for the season. He did not rule it out completely, but he said that it didn't sound good, which really hurts Penn State's chances of. I mean, it was already pretty slim to begin with.
I think it's man. I gotta think it's over, right? If they don't have him, add up the points. How did they get there?
You somehow infect Spencer Lee with coronavirus.
I mean, that's their hope, right? I mean, that's really got to be it.
I mean, Bull and Caleb Young will be back and won't be out again. You have to think, but they're the only two on the team so far that have had to sit because of COVID protocol. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up
that
the
does not
team
bode well
scores.
for Penn State. Hey, but have they ever given a?
Oh wow! Look at that.
She pranked me.
How
I love
sweet.
it. Coffee was not ready when I came down.
You're now Instagram famous wife.
Yeah, but she only filled it halfway full. Jeez, she's watching.
Well, she doesn't want you to have to take a bathroom break during the show.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. It's all, guys. That's been 2 times in like 200 episodes. Give me a break. 198.
2 times more than Wayne Boffman.
That's right.
Wayne Boffman he would have toughed it out. I said this is not worth it at this point. I'm going to the bathroom.
So Ben,
okay, but hold on.
Our most recent rankings, Penn State is 6th right now in team scoring.
That does how?
Well, it's because
RBY's got to be really high. Nick Lee's got to be high.
RBY's really high. You're not getting points at 25. Nick Lee is really high
yet, at least.
At 49.
49, no.
Verclaren's 16th. 57. Bergey's not an All-American contender. He's 11, so he's right there around the 12 guy.
Joe Lee's not that high.
Joe Lee is 14.
Okay.
Then 74 Staroki is 7. But who the heck knows?
Brooks is 5.
Aaron Brooks is 5, and you probably feel like he's going to finish higher than that.
Yeah.
Beard is right there again, round of 12 guy at 13. And then
Neville's what? 12?
Neville's is right on the edge of All-American as well at 13. Yeah.
Okay, Penn State doesn't usually have, if you remember probably one of the most insane stats about Penn State is like their record in the quarterfinals and their record in the semis.
Yeah.
And part of that is it feels like they never have guys who are like say
mid-range All-American.
7 to 16, right? Somewhere in there. It feels like they got the number 1, 2 guys or they got guys who are way far out, and every once in a while they'll have someone who like a Ncaa comes from a number 10, right, and makes the finals, but that's like not all that often. So for them to not, I mean, they don't have any number ones at this point. Nick Lee's not number one, RBY and Brooks. I mean, you could see all those guys potentially winning, but they're definitely not number ones right now. I mean, even last year when Iowa was favored, they had Mark Hall and Vincenzo, 1-2 almost the entire season, and then that other supporting cast was
Nick Lee was number one for a little bit after he beat Pletcher.
Okay.
Yeah, when he beat Pletcher.
I mean, wow. And Kale's really going to have to pull something out of the hat here.
Kale
and I liked how Christian, we can talk trash on Christian since he's not here, and he probably won't hear this at all. He tried playing it off when Andy Hamilton was on the show like he wasn't still saying Penn State could win the Nationals when it got canceled. Me and you, Kyle, we were saying, Liz, this is over. This is Iowa's got it, done deal. And I thought that was relatively obvious. And Christian was still like, nope, there's a Penn State magic. There's a way for them to do it. And then kind of the other day he said, oh, yeah, it was all Iowa. And I'm like, wait.
I very much believed Iowa was the favorite, but last year I could see the path for Penn State until
it was best case scenario and worst case
until
scenario.
Big Tens really. Once Big Tens happened, I was like, okay, no, Iowa's winning no matter what.
And it wasn't because Penn State was really bad. It was just because Iowa was just so good last year, and they're so good again this year, and that's really
they're
all
arguably
there is to it.
They're arguably better with Ironman in the lineup.
Well, and you got to argue that all 8 of those other guys, 9, right? Because the only lineup switch is Murin goes 41 and 49. Ironman's inserted instead of Lugo, so 9 of the other guys are the same.
Right.
The other 9 guys get another year. So I mean,
Brands and Assad flipped as of right now.
So that's good. So 8. But I mean, obviously, you'd also have to assume Assad got better in the year, and if someone else beat him out, then that person is better than he was the previous year. So Iowa was just so freaking good. So Kirk Fleet being out, that's really disappointing. Have they said anything about the injuries? I mean, since the season's over now, they might as well say it, right? Or no, they always keep it secret.
They might as well, but they won't. I literally don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
I know he's had issues with his knee, but I don't want to assume that that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm mostly just bummed we missed that 3-way heavyweight race.
Right, and even if it wasn't going to affect the team title, we all would have loved to see him against Cassiope and then Paris and Gable.
Yeah. I mean, that's we really haven't got to see any of those. We got the little glimpses in his NLWC matches against relatively good guys. They weren't like title contenders or anything, but he killed them. He killed Yusuf Hamidia and he killed Demetrius Johnson, who are both really solid heavyweights. I mean, we don't think those guys are beating Gable or anything, but they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And then Kale did have some other news. He did say 49. Brian Hellickson brought it up in the chat. He did say that 49 wasn't settled completely yet. We're clear, and I know they wrestled Gardner against Wisconsin, and he beat Sharon Brock, who would just beat Brock Hardy. So you got that one. Looks like it's still open. And then he confirmed what we speculated on FRL earlier that day, that they were trying to get duels finalized with Michigan and Michigan State. I didn't see the Spartans coming, but trying to get even more matches, which would be great.
And you have to think if Kale's saying that talks are going well.
Yeah, I can't imagine he would bring that up if he didn't feel confident it was gonna get done. So I thought maybe we would see something about that later in the day, but hopefully today, because that'd be pretty awesome to get the duel between Michigan and Penn State that we missed earlier this season.
That would be tremendous to get that duel on the schedule. And knock on wood, both teams have a full lineup.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully we see Micic.
Sounds like Amin is going to wrestle, but we just don't know what weight. Micic, as we said yesterday, seems pretty up in the air. Okay, you want to move on to Oklahoma State now, Ben?
No, I don't. I want to take a break.
Okay.
I meant to bring this up right when we started the
Oh,
show,
yes,
and then
yes,
you
yes.
rolled right into the
Sorry.
Man, the Yanni and Vito. I commented on this on Twitter last night, and I didn't watch all the matches from America's Cup, but I watched quite a few. And dude, these guys are savages. They're
Yes, they
taking
are.
no prisoners at this point. Yanni I've always been a big fan of, but I feel as though he's made another leap. Like he's just gotten a lot better. And then Vito, I always felt like Vito was good, but I never really considered him top tier with Dayton, Gilman, Spencer, etc. Right? A few of those other guys. And now he just kills everyone. I'm like, damn, this guy is so freaking good. So I guess if I think about them as almost a complete wrestler, they put pressure on, they can attack offensively and relatively dynamically also, and from a myriad of different ways, which is huge.
Yep.
They can scramble and score defensively, and they're both really good on top. That's the full package.
Yeah, Yanni especially, I know he was the big favorite against Mitch McKee, but just the way he looked, this might be the best we've ever seen of Yanni.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it really, just his shots look so much better than they have been. In years previous, I felt like, I know he was dealing with, obviously, so toward the ACL his freshman year, and then I know he's dealing with a few injuries last year, so maybe he's finally all the way healthy. He actually, I don't know if he looked like this to you, but he looked kind of stronger to me. I don't know, did he look stronger to you at all?
I thought he looked bigger at Beat the Streets back in September. Whenever
against,
when we were
got it.
Conchikashvili, yeah. That was when we weren't sure if he was going 41-49. As soon as I saw him, I was like, he's going 49. So I thought he's looked bigger since then. It's crazy how good they look. And I don't have anything great like Smash Bros or something like that. But I was just thinking, it made me, the Vito Yanni, it made me think of Vince Young, the great Texas quarterback. They called him VY.
Oh,
I like
nice.
It's I don't know, it's kind of smooth. VY. We got VY coming up next.
VY was tremendous at Texas. That was my college years. He was making quite the one where he ran in the end zone against USC. Oh, that was tremendous.
That's
wow,
probably the
Ben
greatest.
With the football
that's nice, right? That's
knowledge.
probably
I didn't watch a lot of football, but I remember that.
That's probably the greatest college football game of all time. He
Mhm.
I'm not a Texas fan by any means, but he was absolutely robbed of the Heisman. He should have won. I think VY it's smooth,
It's smooth. There was also something with, both of the names are relatively hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. Someone had something in there about that, and I thought it was I was chuckling at it. I actually got quite a few responses to that post and some funny ones in there. But I think those guys should have a name, and they should start playing up the gimmick. And if they want me to be their manager, I'll be their manager. But they could probably have Kyle Dake could be their manager, like the guru or whatever.
Yeah.
That would really play.
Ben, did you see
Go ahead.
Did you see the Russian translator video we did with them before RTC Cup?
It's phenomenal.
Oh man, it was awesome.
I didn't see it.
We had Vito. Mike would ask Vito a question. He would talk in Russian, and then Yanni would translate. And just completely get it wrong, but it was hilarious. Say Vito was gonna destroy everyone that got in his way. Yeah, it was great.
That is funny. Well, you know what else it got me thinking is that if they had a real RTC Cup and you had to only get guys who were trading, which is what I wanted, which is what I was going off on in December, November, whenever you guys did that. So they would have. Their first four: Vito, Yanni, Kyle, and Gabe Dean. That's freaking savage. I don't know exactly who they'd throw in there at 97 and heavyweight.
Well, I think Scotty Boykin trains there. I think he's a legit member, so he'd be 97, and then heavy. I don't know about heavy.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, that first four is not going to lose a lot of matches. I mean,
No.
Vito's definitely a top 5 guy in America. Yanni's a top 3 guy in America. Kyle's a top 2. There's only one other guy that I could see him losing to.
Mhm.
And then Gabe at this point is probably a top 5. So even against NLWC, I mean, they definitely have a chance at winning the match. You know, Yanni, that would be so fun. Actually, Yanni, Zane, Vito, Thomas, Kyle's probably going to win at 74 against, I don't know if they put out Nolf or Chenzo. And then, you know, Gabe Dean had that crazy match with David. So, man, that would be such a fun duel.
Yeah, absolutely. Be awesome. Anything else that stood out from America's Cup Day 1? I don't know how much you got to watch. Some of my favorite matches, Nashon Garrett, Pat Lugo was pretty awesome.
Yeah, clips for that.
Lugo looked good.
I watched who is Nashon's other match? I'm blanking right now. Which pool is that? Is that A or B?
He wrestled. Man, I'm blanking too right now.
Oh, geez. And maybe it was was him against. I'm gonna search by weight. Maybe it was him versus Lugo.
Lezak.
Yes, Lezak. That's who it was. Yep. And I just remember, and I know he won the match, but I remember thinking, man, he looks kind of small for this. Like Lezak just looked significantly larger. Obviously didn't make that result in the outcome, but that was just like, as soon as I turned it on and started watching, that was like my initial take on the match. And so, you know, I think Nashon likely goes back down to 61, but he's just one of those guys who caught in the middle. 57 kills him, and 65 is probably just a little too big, which actually that was what I thought as a good transition. Mark Hall, so I didn't actually get to watch his full Nate Jackson match. I watched him yesterday. Who you wrestled? Brett Farr.
Yep.
He definitely looks not huge for that weight class. And he looks like, you know, he's maybe enjoying his diet a little bit, which, you know, I can get down with that. I do that too. And I think 79 is probably the eventual correct weight class for him, is what it appears.
I agree. After watching him, it's funny. I just got made look like a dummy all yesterday. I said McBride would probably be his toughest test, and he caught a trap arm in like the first 30 seconds and ended it like that. And then Farr, who I thought he would tech, it was like 6-2.
Yeah, and really it was only a couple sequences really in that match. But I thought he looked really good, because Farr's been a guy he's been a top tier guy. And not easy to beat, right? If you're not one of those top guys, you're probably not going to beat him, and Mark got it done. So, you know, I think he's probably a top 6 to 8 guy, 86, but I think at 79, he's probably a top 3 guy. Is what I would feel like.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. JD, anything to start for you? McKee versus Evan Henderson was wild, as you would expect. McKee almost pins him right away with a cradle.
Hendo rolls through.
Hendo fights out of it. They get and then he gets another cradle locked up. He tries to roll across his back. Hendo catches him for the pin. Classic Mitch McKee, always going for broke. Gwiz looked really good yesterday. Anything else?
Well, I guess I mean, maybe not a huge revelation, but just something I didn't really think about. So Evan Henderson he's in Ithaca training right now, and then Josh Saunders, to my knowledge, also is. So they have quite the group of 65 kg guys.
That
Saunders
match was fun too.
Yeah,
Saunders got out to a big lead early.
Yeah, came back super hard on him and kind of gassed him out a little bit. He didn't look. I mean, in that last 30 seconds, Saunders was losing and just didn't really have much for him.
Yeah, that was another great one. That was like the second match of the day. It was a lot of fun.
Mike Mock and Hayden Zimmer.
Yep.
Their rivalry's getting to be kind of cool. They've gone back and forth. I think Zimmer's taken the last 2 now, though.
Yeah, he has. He won an RTC Cup. Actually, Mike Mock came back at the end, but it was kind of handily before that.
It was like 8-0, and then Mike got 2 takedowns or a takedown and a turn to make it 8-4 or something like that. So
that is back in action, America's Cup, 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, with the quarterfinals. So the
bracket is not up on Flow Arena, Kyle, when it says no brackets available, and I was actually nervous because it says there's American Gold, American Silver, and American Bronze pool, and I was nervous that you were just going to pair up the 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and 3 versus 3, and there's only one more
it's
match.
like RTC Cup where the ones get to bye to the semis.
Bracket.
2 and 3s from opposite sides wrestle.
Got it. So there'll be 3 more matches for some guys and 2 more for some. Like people who have the buys will likely have only 2 matches. Yes. Okay. Cool. Good deal.
Yeah. So and then the championship match would be at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. So even if you can't watch earlier in the day,
Prime time, baby.
Yeah, catch the final tonight live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, now to get to what I was going to get to before Ben wanted to talk about VY. We mentioned it, I think, both shows this week, but John Smith confirmed at his weekly media availability that Dayton Fix is back and he will wrestle this weekend at the Cowboy Challenge. Yeah, guns up. It should be pretty good. I know Missouri's not sending a full lineup. They're sending some guys. I don't know if you have any insight into that, Ben.
I do not. I think it depends on their immunity status. Is what I think.
Okay.
So people who've had Corona have 90-day immunity. They do not have to be tested. So those guys, and they can't be contact traced. So those guys are good to go. And yeah, so I don't know who. I don't have the roster of immunity status for Missouri athletes.
Okay.
I think they're allowed to send 18 or 15, and they are going to send a full number.
Yeah, I confirmed with West Virginia they'll be sending their full lineup plus some. So Noah Adams and AJ Ferrari will be in the same bracket.
Oh yeah.
And I believe Wyoming is going. So I believe Stephen Buchanan will also be in that bracket.
Woo! That's a heater. Hopefully Rocky Elam's got some immunity then. We could see.
I hope
in
so
there.
too. That would seriously be
Didn't Rocky miss some matches like in early January? Maybe that was why.
He missed the first weekend of the year. He did.
Maybe that was why. Let's just hope.
JD, you want to tell people how it's going to work?
Yeah, so it's 8-man brackets. Winners advance on to the semifinals, obviously, and then the winners of semifinals wrestle in the finals. Losers of semifinal wrestle for 3rd and 4th. So it's kind of like a repechage type thing, but if you lose your first round, you're done, no matter what.
You're out? You only get one match?
One and done. I don't know if they're going to do some extra exhibitions.
That can't be right.
I would imagine if that happened that they would try to get that person some extra matches.
This is
why would they just
do John Smith like at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, John Smith. He wasn't thinking straight that day. I'll tell him the easiest. John, listen, if you're listening to this program, here's how you do it. Real simple. Everyone gets 3 matches. These are actually the brackets I love for the kids tournaments because they're very predictable. Everyone gets 3 matches. You only move forward or back, right? So if you lose first round, you're 5th through 8th. And then if you lose again, you're wrestling for 7th and 8th. If you win, you're wrestling 5th and 6th. Everyone gets 3 matches. Everybody's happy. Boom. Done. Simple.
I just want to read this quote that John had about Dayton. It was pretty telling how much he thinks of him. But he said, quote, "We got our leader back. I think you ask any coach, go do this without your leader. He is our leader. Dayton Fix leads this team, and he has since he's been here. And he was when he was sitting this year. Now we get to watch him again." So,
hey, what did he mention? What weight class?
I think he's absolutely going 133. I don't.
Oh, he is. Okay.
I think he did not say that, but I think it's gonna be 33.
Okay.
We broke it down, and even though it's a short time span that he's back from, February 14th when he steps on the mat to March 17th or whatever, it's still like 9 weigh-ins or something like that.
Weren't we I thought we were just talking about Soriano, weren't we?
We were talking about him yesterday, but we talked about the weigh-in thing for Dayton like last week.
Is Big 12, is that a 2-day weigh-in or a 1-day?
It's 2 days. So he would weigh in. They have a Cowboy Challenge, which is 1. They have a duel next week against Oklahoma. That's 2. 4 after the 2 Big 12s, and then 7 after the 3 NCAA weigh-ins.
Jeez.
That's a lot in a month span.
It is a lot. that's a lot.
So-
Okay, dang it all. I mean, I just want to see Spencer have one good match.
I know.
And and honestly, that could be right if he went and killed. Which it's possible with him, Dayton or Soriano or Vito, or even Pat Glory. I think Pat Glory would probably be the number 2 right now with that weight class. That would just kind of cement some status for his level this year.
Yeah, if Ivy League was in it, it'd be like Glory then Vito, 1, 2, and 3. I think.
Well, I think that's flipping now.
It might, but the last time they wrestled folk style, I'm pretty sure Glory beat him at EIWAs.
I was actually getting mad about you guys in your freestyle rankings gimmick last night. I was thinking about it, and I was getting annoyed with you. And
I'm not doing
What?
this.
I don't want to bring this up now because CP's not here, and so he won't be able to defend himself or make an argument. So I'm gonna save it, and then if it comes up organically, I'll bring it up. But I was getting pretty fired up.
Okay. Yeah, that's bait, and I'm not taking it. We want to have a good show today. We don't want to yell at each other.
Another note about that, from what I could tell, only the finals are being streamed. They're on ESPN Plus, but like an ESPN Plus schedule, it just says, I know that starts at noon Central Time, but then it said starting at 4 and then finals next to it. So I don't know if the first few rounds are going to be streamed, but finals will be on ESPN Plus.
Got it.
So if Ferrari and Adams or whoever do wrestle in the semifinals, we might not even be able to see it.
Fantastic. Love it.
Ever? Like it's not even going to be archived somewhere online.
I don't know.
Nothing?
I don't know, Ben.
And, I mean, if ESPN Plus isn't streaming it, they're not going to archive it anywhere. It would have to be up to one of the teams to put it out.
What are they thinking?
They don't care.
They don't care. It's sad, isn't it?
I mean, they did this deal with the Big 12 to get their football and basketball games. And then they were like, we'll just take everything else, put it on ESPN Plus because they're trying to build their streaming library. But at the end of the day, they don't care. That's what it comes down to. And that's why there's no promotion of these duels either. But I digress. Let's get into duels that are going to happen this weekend. And we assume you will be able to watch them. And watch archives of them as well. We'll start with, in football, they call this the game. Ohio State and Michigan.
I don't think these two schools like each other very much. Huh?
They do not. I don't. Michigan, they don't give a damn for that's Ohio. They don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan.
Yeah, that school up north.
That school up north. And then Michigan thinks it's like they're really insulting Ohio State when they call them Ohio. They just call them Ohio. And it's like, well, there's literally a school named Ohio.
Instead of the Ohio State University.
Right, yeah. So they think they're like insulting them. But yeah, it's really dumb. Anyways.
So sick rivalry and a couple ranked matchups that should be pretty good too.
Yeah, there's a number of them. And 125 is one of the most interesting ones to me because Heinzelman has been outstanding this year. He nearly climbed into the top 10. He lost to Devin Schroeder 1-0. And then Ragusin has been great in the 3 matches we've seen him, so he's got a chance to move up. 174.
I think Ragusin here, man. I've been really impressed. Heinzelman's got a lot better this year, but
we haven't seen enough Ragusin folk style, I feel like, yet. This will be like his biggest test so far.
So I feel like, it'll definitely be his biggest test so far. I feel like he's just gonna be bigger and stronger.
Yeah,
I don't know that. Malik obviously, we know he's a little bit small for the weight class, and I think we're gonna see that from Ragusin. He's kind of gonna bully him a little bit.
Okay.
Who are you taking?
I lean Ragusin too.
I think I go Heinzelman.
Okay.
He's looked good this year. He's a different wrestler than he was last year.
Okay. Yeah, he clearly is. Yeah. Sammy Sasso, Kanan Story. You feel like Sasso is the heavy favorite there.
Yeah. Did they wrestle last? I'm looking up right now. I'm trying to go fast. Did they wrestle last year?
You're good. We got time.
Sasso looked really good against Murin. Murin did his part by shooting head inside singles multiple times to make him look really good. So Sasso beat Store 3-0 at the Big Tens last year, and oh my goodness, I forgot about this. Was Sasso's coming out party.
Yeah.
Remember he
He
techballed him
teched
at
him,
the
yeah.
Michigan State Open. I forgot that.
I do
Wow.
now. That's when we thought Sammy was just going to be this offensive dynamo and just destroy everyone. And while he was really good, he just, I don't know, he didn't have the same offense as that opening week and the rest of the year.
Yeah, that was wild because Sammy had prolific defense always, and was a good mat wrestler always. But Caden Store's been our top 12, 15 guy of his entire career.
Yep.
And so when he came out that first weekend and just killed him, it was like, oh my God, like we got a Hodge Trophy contender here.
Yeah.
And then we really never saw him return to the form where he was scoring those kind of points on high level guys.
Yep, you're totally right.
Yeah.
And then 65, Ethan Smith, who's been great this year. Cam Amin, we haven't got to see him a lot,
No one from
That's
Michigan,
another one kind
right?
of like 25, where we just haven't seen, we haven't seen Ragston as much. Or we've seen him more in freestyle, but Cam Amin, we haven't seen that much in Fear of Folk yet at this level. So it'll be fun to see exactly where he stacks up against a guy like Smith.
Did Cam Amin wrestle at the either? I don't know if he's U20 or U23s. Did he wrestle either one of those? I don't really recall.
I don't either. I'm gonna look.
I don't
right
believe
now.
so.
I don't think. I feel like we would have recognized had he, or obviously the U.S. Open. I actually kind of feel like he did maybe wrestle at the U.S. Open in October, but I'm not really sure on that. And I think Ethan Smith's been really good, and I would definitely lean Ethan Smith. Ethan Smith's been very consistent in beating everyone except the very top wrestlers. He hasn't really broken into that upper echelon, but pretty much everyone else he's been really solid against. So I'm gonna go Ethan Smith.
Yeah, he did wrestle in October, Ben. I'm gonna get the results here.
Okay.
I do not
I felt
believe.
like I remembered him.
I do not believe he placed, but we're about to find out.
I don't. I feel like he wrestled Evan Wick. I don't remember.
did.
Yes,
exactly.
he did.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second here.
Uh-oh. Come on, get those results, Brecky.
I know. So he beat Grant Henderson. He beat Josh Kim. Then loses to Evan Wick 8-5, and then lost to Jacob Wright 4-0.
Who's Jacob Wright? Was that a Fresno kid?
He's not Wyoming. He transferred to Wyoming. Yeah, but he's a top 15 guy at 157 right now.
Got it. Yeah, I'm going Ethan Smith.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Massa Romero. This is a good one.
Yes. I'm excited for this because I was just talking about how good Caleb Romero looked last week against Michael Kemmerer.
Didn't get a takedown.
If you gave me a bet, Kyle, is there a match this year that Michael Kemmerer doesn't get a takedown? I probably would have bet no on that. I mean, depending on the odds, obviously, right? But Michael Kemmerer is really aggressive. He's kind of a dynamo. He's not a sit around and see what happens kind of guy. And Romero shut him down. And even with Romero being hurt kind of in the last minute-ish. So I guess my question would be, is Romero healthy, all the way healthy? And sometimes the ankles just take a couple days, right? You ding them and then you're fine in a couple days. And the other thing about this matchup is, Massa is primarily just kind of a straightforward attacker. And after what I saw against Michael Kemmerer, I don't think he can kind of score that way against Caleb Romero. So I think it's going to be a really like a 3-2 type match. I would lean towards Massa, but it's going to be super competitive.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. JD?
Yeah, this match I think will come down to like one position, one shot, and whoever wins that position in the second or third or whatever will take the match.
Yes.
Yep, a very close one. And then no matter what way Miles Amin goes, he'll have a ranked matchup. At 84 will be Rocket Jordan, 97 will be Gavin Hoffman, but he is a big favorite in both of those matches.
Yeah,
and then,
I don't see those being all that competitive. Miles Amin's, I feel like, way better than both those guys.
Agreed. And then at heavyweight, Mason Paris, even though it's top 16 showdown is a massive favorite against Orndorff as well.
I feel like Orndorff had. I don't want. I should go over the record to confirm this, but I feel like he's kind of made a regression this year a little bit. Paris, obviously, we saw him at the Club Cup, and dude, he was so impressive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if this one ends in a fall, which I don't know that that's going on a limb. So I don't know that you guys would be that shocked with that either.
No, especially not after Cassiope pinned Orndorff last week.
Well, okay, so Orndorff's lost to Cassiope, Hilger, Luffman, who are all high-level guys. So I guess maybe regression would be a little maybe that's a little too far. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's regression as much as maybe just hitting a tougher schedule. Yeah, on a more weekly basis. He hit some obviously ranked dudes in the Big 12. The Big 12 is pretty solid at heavyweight last year, but it's not the week in, week out as it is in the Big 10 this year with the only Big 10 schedule.
So last year during the season, he really only lost to Hilger and Hall, Tanner Hall, but then he did lose to at the Big 12s. He lost to Brian Andrews in overtime, and then Josh Hokett in overtime also. So yeah, I guess I will take back my regression statement and say he's kind of where he was last year.
Brian Andrews did go on to win Big 12s that year, which is crazy. But and then a few good matches in the Pitt Virginia Tech Duel, which is also Friday night. We didn't get to talk about this guy when we were talking about Virginia Tech, NC State, but holy cow, Corbin Myers looks amazing this year. He missed last season due to a neck injury, and he looks better than he's ever looked before in his career, and he's beaten Mickey Philippi before. So I'm excited for that one.
What is this is where I don't know what's Corbin Myers? Was he a really high level high school recruiter? Is he someone who's just gotten better every single year?
No, he was very good. He started at Edinboro, and then he was part of the group that when Flynn left to go to West Virginia, like Gear left, and
why didn't he go to West Virginia with Timmy Flynn?
I don't know. Maybe Flynn didn't want Edinboro to feel like he was just stealing all the guys, even though they all left anyways. But Corbin Myers in his 4 years in Pennsylvania was second, third, first, and second. That's really freaking good.
Oh wow. Hey, he killed Louis Hayes and I just pulled up his record. He killed Louis Hayes and Jamie Hernandez. Well, and Trombley. I mean,
I'm telling you, he's killing everybody. He's
good.
That's really impressive. I mean, those are three really solid guys.
I know. He's really good on top. He's looked amazing on his feet. Really clean attacks. This guy looks like he's on another level. Last year, maybe missing the season, as disappointing as it probably was for him, it might have refreshed him. He's a 3-time national qualifier. And like I said, he's beaten Philippi before. Be a professional, dude.
Make it wait.
Make it wait.
And this man's going to get 7 years of college if he goes back next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lots of people
if
go to
come
college
back
for
next
7
year.
years.
Yeah, they're called doctors. I'm interested in Cole Matthews, Sammy Hilligus. Hilligus, he doesn't really have that like marquee win, but he's been right there with his only losses on the year are 8-3 to Brian Courtney, who has shot up the rankings. He lost 12-6 to Sherman and 5-1 to Tariq Wilson, so only losing the top 15 guys.
He was a guy, I watched him at PIAA's last year when I went and was really impressed.
Yeah. And then...
Hey, I feel like, did these guys wrestle in high school? I don't know why I'm having like a flashback right now of maybe watching like a Powerade match or something, or am I just dreaming right now?
I'm going to look right now. They could have.
I feel like they wrestled in the finals of something big.
Nothing on our site.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean maybe they hit it PIAA's before we streamed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many big Pennsylvania tournaments, between the Powerade and then there's that like Escape the Rock tournament. Yeah. Obviously, BC's, I know it's not Pennsylvania, but there's a lot of Pennsylvania schools there, and then the Ironman also.
Yep. And then the other one that should be good is Jake Winsel, Mekhi Lewis. Winsel's worked himself into a top 6 guy. And Mekhi, obviously number 1 guy in the country. Then Arizona State, UNI, Iowa State. are going to have a try. Northern Colorado was supposed to be involved in that, but they have COVID issues again. They've really been hit hard with that this year. But we still get some good ones in the Arizona State UNI duel. Courtney versus Teskey, Isley versus Schultz.
That's a big one. We talked about that one the other day as far as seeding goes. Going into Ncaa, that's a huge one.
This is a massive weekend for both Teskey and Courtney. Because of Courtney will also see Kyson Terrakina of Iowa State, who's been really solid at 125. He beat out Mackle, and then has pushed some guys like Mastro. So Courtney will have Teskey and Terrakina, and then he should honestly cruise in the Pac-12 championship. So he could finish undefeated with wins there. And if Teskey can pick up wins there, he's the top seed of the Big 12 tournament, and then is the favorite to go undefeated there. So,
sidebar.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Teskey.
Matthews and Hilligus wrestled at UWW's in November, and Matthews won by tech.
Good memory, Ben.
It's freestyle. Doesn't count.
That's right.
Freestyle.
It doesn't. Not towards the rankings.
Don't even get me started. I mean, if it was a leg lace, I could throw it out. But, if you took the man down 6 times, I'm not throwing it out.
Well, okay. You can use that. You can use that to base your prediction off of it. No one's gonna fault you for that. I'm just saying when we do the rankings, we're looking at folk style results.
It was
I'm
4 point.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Piles to be back.
All right, so he gut wrenched him a bunch.
Yeah, don't count it.
Colton Schultz, he beat the Big 12 champ Brian Andrews, who we talked about a little bit earlier, a few weeks ago, and now he'll have a chance to move into the top 5 because he has both Gannon Grimmel and Carter Isley this weekend.
Ooh, let's go, Colton Schultz. Let's see what you're made of, big boy. We've been waiting for that. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I mean, right? This was the number one guy coming out of high school. And obviously Greco, he's all everything. He competing on the senior level, but we haven't seen him compete on the senior level in freestyle, and we haven't seen him against any really big names in folk style. So, I hope he raises the rough this weekend.
What I've seen from him, he wrestled in that Wyoming try with Utah Valley kind of extra match thing a few weeks ago, is guys struggled to stay in the center mat with him, which is probably expected, with his Greco background and being able to control ties and everything. And then he forced Andrews into a bad shot, and he capitalized off of it. So we'll see if he's able to do that against Isley and Grimmel. A fun one in the Arizona State Iowa State duel: David Carr, Ja'Cory Teamer. That should be a lot of fun. Carr looked amazing last weekend.
What was that match like? I remember being excited for that match last year, and now I can't remember what the result was of that.
I can't either.
Look up.
I believe in freestyle.
I know Carr won.
I believe in freestyle they've split before.
Let me see. I know they wrestled last year because I remember being excited for it. Carr won 4-1. I knew Carr won, but he won 4-1.
Okay.
So, and Teamer missed last weekend, right? Because that was a forfeit for them. Do we know injury, illness, corona, quarantine? Do you have any idea?
I'm gonna probably guess it was corona because they had to pause things a few weeks ago, and Trey Munoz missed as well for them. So, but another week down, maybe another week healthy. So,
yeah.
Okay. Your man Parker Keckeisen. We get another chance to get another really quality win against Sammy Colbray.
Has Colbray been the starter at 84 all season for them?
He just wrestled last weekend for the first time.
Because they had he was up at 97, correct?
No, he just wasn't in the lineup. They were wrestling.
It was like him and Deegan that were sitting out the first half.
They both wrestled their first matches last weekend.
Got it. Well, that's obviously Colbray has been he's been in a lot of weight classes for one.
Yes, he has.
But he's also kind of had a lot of different results.
I'm pretty sure he has wrestled 174 through heavyweight.
Correct.
Heavyweight.
That's correct.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this poor guy.
Seriously.
Okay.
Doing the LJ Hellbig.
Yes, yes, that's right. I'm a dummy and forgot to put all our questions that we got from our friends in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
So
Jeez,
JD, why don't you tell? You're getting ready to go. While I do that, you're getting ready to go to Captain's Cup.
Correct.
Why don't you tell the people what maybe the updates in some of the rosters, and then what they need to be excited for about this weekend?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as America's Cup, but for the women, 6 teams, Olympic weights. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of changes to the teams, and most of them not in a great way. WCAP just had to pull out their handful of women that were supposed to compete yesterday because I think they had an outbreak. Desiree Zavala also... She was an injury. Kayla Miracle pulled out, and there were a couple more as well due to COVID protocol or injury. But they're still not bad. Still a lot of talented women. Here are the teams. Team Mensa Stock, Amy Fernside, Cheyenne Sissenstein, Abby Nets, XMP, Tamira Diamond Guilford, Team Winchester, Alyssa Lampy, Jakar Winchester, Grace Figueroa, Macy Kilty, Alexa Glade, Geneva Gray.
That team's really good.
Yep. Hildebrandt, Sarah, Alex Hedrick, Lauren Louise, Jennifer Page, Kayla Morano, Precious Bell, Team Miracle, Erin Golston, Rana Heaton, Coral Sigayoma. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Coral. Julia Salata, and Ashlyn Ortega and Hannah Gladden. Team Francis, Emily Shilson, Felicity Taylor, Lauren Mason, Emma Bruntel, Skylar Groh, Victoria Francis, and Team Burkett, Aaliyah Gould, Catherine Shy, Brenda Reyna, Mallory Velty, Olivia Fiske, and Tristan Kelly. So it should be pretty fun. Looking forward to it.
Nice. Who else is going out there with you?
Spay and Bader.
Nice.
Racing the cold.
They get to go to the negative degree weather that you guys are enjoying, Ben.
Love it up here. It's so cold.
All right, we're ready. We're going to get to questions from friends now. And then after that, so you guys don't cry that we're interrupting your wrestling talk, we're going to talk Free Britney.
I had a birthday party last night. My daughter turned 8, so I did not watch Free Britney.
How was the birthday
party? I watched
party?
the first half, but yes, like you, Ben, I did not finish. But still Free Britney.
Good. Lots of one other family came over. And they have 3 girls, so there's a lot of girls, and Ozzy Man just running around trying to fight him for whatever reason.
All right. This is just a funny comment from Terry H. He said, "I felt you should know that I got a very weird look from my wife when I told her I knew all about the Free Britney movement. Even weirder when I told her it's because of Alien Hour on a wrestling podcast." Adam Rush. It seems like Tony Nelson and Don Bradley are pretty cool with each other. Have you ever seen anyone not get along with Tom Bradley? Tyler, you got to play it. People want it. They want it.
That was so incredibly fast.
Oh, that's probably the longest stretch we've gone without.
Straight on double. Come on.
It is.
Right.
There were a few people, Ben, that literally just said no question. Just play the clip.
I feel like we haven't watched it in like 3 weeks, which, I feel like at one point we were playing it like every other show.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, can we get the one with Spay in the audio real quick? It makes me really happy. I just need to hear that train wreck.
Straight on double. Come on. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. I feel like, you know what? I almost feel like we pick on those guys a lot. They probably enjoy it. They probably think it's funny. But there's got to be some other funny wrestling clips that are something like that. We should get a library of them.
Yes, we should. The Anthony Valencia Hayden Hidley match. Hidley was throwing him everywhere. So that one's kind of very similar. He threw him off the mat multiple times, and then Hayden afterwards was like, "Yeah, I'm going to apologize for absolutely nothing because you don't know how they're going to call continuation. So I'm going to try to get my points." Right. Yeah, here's Hayden just abusing him one time. He just threw him and let him go. Then Frank's like, "Stay down, stay down." And then this one,
This
He
was the
actually-
worst call ever because he got a penalty. It's like
Yeah.
if he was on the other side of the mat, that's 4 points every single time. 100% of the time, that's 4 points.
What he did was actually probably safer than running him into the boards, which he could have easily done right there. He just said, "Okay,
That's debatable.
I will put you on the ground."
Oh man.
All right, back to questions. Notorious. He wants to know what program has surprised us the most this year, either in a good way or a bad way.
Man, I need to get the rankings up for this. I would
Illinois
say
has
surprise. I
been
mean, one of the
pretty
ones that
impressive
surprised us.
this year. Not that I
Who'd you
thought they weren't
say?
going to be, but I feel like
He said Illinois.
they've looked really solid
yeah.
so far.
Oh,
Yeah, they've had guys take jumps, you know. Luffman has been good. The Broncos were always really solid. Cardani's right there. He's gotten better. Dylan Duncan. Oh, Lucas
I would
Bird.
say,
Lucas Bird has been good.
yeah. I'm gonna say 3 teams. I'm gonna say NC State, which they surprised us a lot. Missouri, which I kind of felt was coming, but I think they were surprising a lot of people with, and they're still not that high in the team ranking,
They'll
team
get there.
individual rankings because they have a lot of guys who are a little lower but potential move up.
Yep. Agreed.
And the other one who I did not, you're probably gonna say, duh, to me. I didn't realize Virginia Tech was going to be so good. They're significantly better than what I expected.
I actually thought Virginia Tech could be even better because I thought they were going to get more out of Connor Brady than they have at 57.
I mean, but you got to say, so you guys have them at 3 in the dual rankings, but individual, I didn't include individual. They got to be relatively high because between Latona, Lewis is really high, Corbin Myers is high. I mean, they have a really solid team.
Yes, they do. Team tournament, they're
What do you guys have
7th.
them?
Seventh.
7th? I feel like that's kind of low. Are you not counting Andrew Smith's points?
Andy Smith.
Hunter Bolin? How are they higher than 7th?
Well, so you look at 41, they're 25th right now. 49, Andonian's like 14 or something like that. He just hasn't he doesn't have that win that can push him up like way high yet.
Yeah.
But we all feel like he's a guy that's going to be around to 12, right? I do, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure.
57, Connor Brady's not ranked. 65, Makai's number 1. 74, they're not ranked at 74. Bolin's number 2. 97's not ranked, and John Boris is like 18. So they have a few of those really high guys, and guys like Andonian that we think can climb higher. But I did think Connor Brady was going to be a little bit better, but he's looked better these past few weeks. He kept Hayden to a decision, which was huge, and was in on a few shots of his own. He looks like he's figuring things out. Missouri would be a surprise for me. Obviously I knew they were pretty good, but how good the freshmen have been, and Alan Hart taking a big jump.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, I remember the week of senior nationals, we were like, why the hell is Rocky Elam seated like top 5? And then he goes out and beats all these senior level dudes, and he's been just as advertised in college wrestling as well. Obviously, Keegan's been fantastic.
Mako's
Connor
taking
Brown's
a
been
jump
good.
up. He's all the way up at number 11.
Yeah, Mako continuing to get better. So, yeah. And then whoever they go with at 84 between Kent and Hawks has been
They've both
top.
been good.
Yes. So that's definitely a surprise. As far as on the other end, I think we call those teams that make us sad.
Penn State.
Penn State makes you sad?
Yeah, just because, like, no Kirkfleet. We still don't know, at 25.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I'm sad about Northwestern because I feel like I don't know where Ryan Deacon
Well,
is.
they're not that sad if Deacon comes back. I mean, they get a healthy roster. They could be solid with Deacon, Davison.
I know.
Michael
I guess
Cannon.
I just say sad because it feels like we
mean,
never
Chris
get to
Cannon.
see their full roster.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you did this a year ago, they'd
Seabass
have a
left.
Seabass on it, too.
They would.
Yeah.
That'd be a great first 4. They would have gone DiAgostino, Cannon, Seabass, Yaya Thomas, Ryan Deacon. Holy cow!
That would have been solid.
Yeah, that would have been really good. Yeah, I don't know. I would need to look at teams that aren't in the rankings, honestly, for teams that make me sad. And I don't want to be too mean. Okay, moving on. Avery Lynch just wanted to see the Don Bradley clip.
So you had multiple requests for that.
Yes, no, we really did. Shane Sparks is trying to get me to rant about the Packers drafting a quarterback in the first round again. I already did that on draft night.
People hate on that so much. I don't watch football, but
Then
man,
it was a god-awful decision.
okay. Well, I didn't know. I've heard so many people bitch about it, and I'm just like, most of the time, okay, this list, I feel like there's the amount of casual wrestling fans is so much smaller than other sports. So,
Right.
And there's still a lot of wrestling people that have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Yes.
You know? So then if I extrapolate and I say, well, most wrestling fans are casuals, and a decent portion of them still have no idea what the hell they're talking about, there's got to be this gigantic portion of football fans who are just completely clueless. So I can't take their word for anything.
You're absolutely correct. You nailed it. But I ran about it on draft night. Shane's just trying to get me going because the other night when they were all down here and we were at dinner, he was like, "You're a Packers fan, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And he told me, I didn't know this. He used to host a radio show in Green Bay.
Yeah.
In his 20s, and all he did was pretty much talk about the Packers. And so, for a good 40 minutes, we just yelled about all the stupid things the Packers have done and all the heartbreak and everything. It was pretty good.
I called in here, funny story. I called in and pranked Shane Sparks. This is 2006 or 5. I did a camp at Kakana High School. It was me, Cole Conrad, and my brother. And we called in, and this is back when not everything was you couldn't see who was calling, on
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
We called in and we prank called Shane Sparks on his radio show.
What'd you guys say? Is your refrigerator running or something like that?
I want to say this is so long ago. I feel like he's an Atlanta Braves fan or something like that. It was some type of baseball stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we were just messing with him about baseball. Someone gave us a list of things to mess with them on baseball stuff, and we just called and harassed him about it.
That's great. Yeah, so Shane is trying to get me riled up. You guys don't need to hear that again, but it was an unbelievably stupid decision.
Hey, but Bracky, are you and JD probably aren't even old enough to remember when you could actually prank call people? I remember. You wanted who I prank call people with all the time? This is a blast mess. Bart Horton. He was my assistant coach at Mizzou. No. We would prank call people again. We would prank call people together, and there was this website. I don't even remember. This is such
E-bombs.
Such a blast. Was it E-bombs? And you could make people say things, and it would be in the voice of someone else.
Yeah, there were the soundboards on E-bombs World. Yes, we used to do this all the time, Ben.
We would prank call Bobby Douglas every other week because Bobby coached Bart. And it was the greatest thing ever. Bobby, hello? Oh, damn it. It's that damn prank call again. Oh, my God. It was the greatest thing ever.
On Bobby Douglas.
Well, I wasn't. It was Coach Horton that was doing it. But yeah, I would go up to his office early for practice. We would probably do this every other week or minimum one time a month, and we would just dial people. And there was no caller ID back then, so you could just prank call anyone. It was the greatest thing ever.
That is great.
Oh, man,
so much
hilarious.
Fun.
Yeah, we used to do the
Poor Bobby.
we used to use the Rocky
So
Rocky
Bobby,
soundboard.
if you're listening, someone tell Bobby Douglas that was Bart Horton prank calling him all those times.
Yeah.
He's still hiding.
I'll tell Sion to let Bobby know. The carpet struggle is real. Wants to know if there's anyone more hated in America right now than Jamie Spears. I don't think so. I don't think there is.
Oh, is that Brittany's dad?
Yeah, that's Brittany's dad. This documentary, it's kind of like Tiger King when everyone hated Carol Baskin. Carol
Baskin's very hateable.
Yeah, she's very hateable. It's not in this doc. Jamie doesn't come off as hateable as Carol just because he's not featured as much in it. But that he's the one pulling the strings. So that's why people hate him.
I can't stop laughing about the prank calls. I haven't thought about that in a decade or so. Oh, God damn it, it's that prank call again.
Speaking of Shane Sparks, we had other people ask if he would become an FRL regular, and I'm sure whenever they're in town or any other time, maybe when we want to talk about these Big Ten duels that he's calling, he can come on now. Rem Megger wants to know who would win more weights at NCAA's, Ben or Christian's homie Joey Silva.
Oh well, I would. That would have been more fun if you put someone reasonable up there. But Joey Silva, we don't even know if he's qualified at this point.
Yeah. It was just funny. I wanted to see your reaction with the Joey Silva.
Oh my! We don't even know where he is. We need someone. We need a Joey Silva search party.
Yeah. We used to put out. Ben, I don't know if you remember this. Like way back in the day, we used to put out APBs for wrestlers that weren't wrestling.
Yes, I remember that.
So let's put an APB out for Joey Silva. And also, I'm going to go ahead and put one out for Ryan Deacon as well. Because we were told 2 weeks ago he was going to be back in the lineup.
Still no.
At least he's in school. He's enrolled. We know that much.
We know that. It could be a contact trace. I guess it could be a positive test too. Hopefully everything's all good there.
Kyle, I'm still thinking about the prank call. Do you remember? You probably don't remember this. You dialed. If you didn't, no. I was thinking like at that time you kind of loosely had caller ID. It wasn't like it is today, obviously. But you guys remember you could do a *67. That was how you let people not know who it was.
Yeah.
So you did *67, and we were using his office phone. It was so fun.
Oh, a lot of people in the Facebook chat are loving it. The trip down memory lane, as they said, if you didn't prank call people with your buddies when you had sleepovers, you didn't grow up right.
You want to know the best prank I ever did? Now I'm coming clean. I don't know who this is gonna be, but someone's gonna be really mad at me, Kyle.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of tsunamiing someone?
Is that when you lean the bucket of water up against a door?
The trash can of water.
Yeah.
So Iowa, my senior year of national duels, the Iowa Hawkeyes were staying in the same hotel with us, up in Cedar Falls. I tsunamied someone. We kind of knew roughly, like we saw them going in a whole bunch of rooms. I tsunamied someone, and I just heard them cussing, and that was it. I have no idea whose room it was. This is January of 2007. I definitely tsunamied someone on the Iowa Hawkeye team.
All right, so we're now going to put out an APB for whoever been tsunamied. Please let us know if it was you and how pissed you were and how many things it ruined.
Tsunami. That was so fun.
That became a thing my freshman year in college in the dorms, and then we all finally had to be like, guys, we have to stop, like, because it was like ruining like
so
cords
much
of
water.
Electronics. Yes, we're like, we have to stop. Let's do other things to each other.
Only one time in my whole life did I actually do it with like a full size garbage can, like a 55-gallon one. Usually it was just like the smaller, like, what I'm saying, rinky dink one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wrestling Fan 62. Free Britney, Tiger Woods, or Tiger King, which is the best? So those 3 documentaries. I mean, Tiger King, it was just like once in
national phenomenon.
Generational stuff. Yeah, I think I gotta go with that one. Tiger Woods probably 2, because it was a better documentary than Free Britney, and then Free Britney 3. But Free Britney is just more like educating people, getting the word out. But,
so I love Tiger King. I want to watch Tiger Woods, and I just feel obliged to watch the Britney one because you're pushing me to, and that's about it.
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's not gonna win any awards or anything, I don't think, but it's good. He also asked, will Flo be able to hold an 8-man tournament with the best high school teams? We used to, with who's number 1.
And who's number 1 duels?
Right, that's what I was saying. Who's number 1 duels? I don't think we will be this year, just because a lot of states and schools have travel restrictions with COVID.
Ben, did you see this? I saw it yesterday. Notre Dame in Pennsylvania, their 106-pounder could go into districts being the number 1 seed, but he hasn't wrestled the varsity match yet. He's very good.
Wild.
I'm blanking on.
Well, it's
his
better
name
they do
right
that
now.
than
Aiden
have him
Smith.
like somewhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's way better they would do that than say like they have him at like the 6th seed and then he's really good and he beats the number 3 seed or something and knocks the number 3 seed out for no good reason.
Yeah,
Something
and
to that
he's
effect.
very good. I think he won a PJW title last year, but their Notre Dame schedule has kind of been hit with COVID and whatnot. And some of the teams they have wrestled haven't had 6-pounders, so he's gotten a couple forfeits. And then the one match I think he could have wrestled, it was a girl, and Notre Dame can't wrestle girls still in the regular season.
I roll.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
In the regular season, so if it's in the postseason, they can do it?
Yes.
Oh, that's an extra eye roll.
Yeah.
I don't
In the
even know what to say about
postseason,
that.
the wrestler
That
gets
is
their
freaking
choice.
Shenanigans.
It's shenanigans.
That's absurd. I mean, if you're gonna make a hard and fast stupid rule, make it a hard and fast stupid rule. Don't just admit that it's so stupid that you won't follow it during the postseason because of the effect it has on you. Like if you're gonna do something that's stupid, like say like this is what we're gonna do, whether it's dumb or not. Giving people an option in the postseason, that just like amplifies the ridiculousness of it.
Yep.
I agree. But
Yeah.
so he has 0 varsity matches yet, but everyone knows he's pretty good, so he'll probably be the number 1 seed.
Okay, back to questions. Weathersfield Wrestling. They want to know, Ben, who are you sparring with? Are you sparring with anyone? How's the training going?
Yeah. Training's going really, really well. Actually, it's better than I thought it was going to go. So I'm working with guys at Rufus. I one of my old teammates. I'm kind of he's coming in kind of full time with me every single day. And then I'm also setting up some trips to go a few. I don't know if call them fun, but very high level places, so I could hopefully pick up a few things from there. So yeah, it's going better than I thought it was. It's a lot of fun.
I like it. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good question. Johnny Roast Beef. Watching Kaisen Tarakina this year got me wondering, who are the all-time best NCAA wrestlers from Hawaii? The only others I could think of were the Terrell brothers. Ben, do you know of any?
Yeah, this offended me.
Okay.
How did they forget about the man, Travis Lee?
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah, I mean, he was the original Hawaiian legend. He went to Cornell, killed it. He was a part of the really famous 119-pound bracket in 2000 and would have been 2001 because they were 1 year older than me. That was Dubuque, Sean Bunch, Travis Lee, Nick Simmons, like this really insane bracket. I'm sure I'm forgetting a handful of really good guys. But yeah, I believe Travis Lee is the GOAT of Hawaii.
There's kind of a weird connection now between Hawaii and Iowa State. I don't know exactly what it is or how it got started. I've asked a couple people, but I don't know if anybody in the chat has a scoop on that, on exactly where it got started.
I believe
Grant Nakamura is like the farthest I can go back.
Grant Nakamura, yes.
Yeah. Was he the first Hawaiian to wrestle for Iowa
the
State?
first Hawaiian. Yeah, and then there's now I'm not remembering the rest, but yes, I believe Grant Nakamura was the first one.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, he was solid. He was like I mean, he wasn't Travis Lee or nothing, but he was like a top 10, 12 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Yeah, someone said
Yeah.
Nakamura in the chat. Ross Patton said Nakamura.
No,
Neil
Travis
Saunders said
Lee,
Grant Nakamura.
legend. He was so good.
Yes, he was. The first NCAA tournament I went to was in 2005, and he won the national title. Okay. Oh no, wait, we got a few more here.
Wait, I want to bring this one up because this one annoys the crap out of me. Nathan Stuller, and I can't say I've watched a ton of Ben Honus, and I did not ever recognize this, but when wrestlers wear a knee pad backwards on their leg, that should not be legal. Because if you were to shoot a single and grab there, it would definitely slip. And there is no purpose for wearing a knee pad backwards on your calf area.
Well, there's one
so
purpose.
If you're going to wear a knee
if someone
pad,
grabs it and it slips, that's your advantage.
it slips. Yeah, so it should have to be on your knee. And if you're not on your knee, then too bad. You don't get to wear it. It's a freaking knee pad, not a backwards calf pad.
I agree. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It's kind of BS.
Such BS.
I didn't even know Honus was doing that, so now I need to really pay attention to Honus. I want to answer this one from Jeremy Baker. Why does Flow Arena use a cryptic system to let us know how a match was won? What is a win by VSU or VPO1 or VSU1? Why not simply decision, fall, etc.? That is not this cryptic system that we just created out of nowhere. That is what UWW uses.
Well,
What?
that might be a little cryptic.
What's French?
We don't speak French, Kyle.
We say parterre.
I don't know what that means. You might be trying to offend me right now.
You know what parterre is?
Yeah, so VSU1 is technical fall without an opponent scoring. I'm trying to find all the breakdowns of them now. Do you know them off the top of your head, JD? Okay, so
VPO1 is when they score.
Yeah, so 4 points. VSU is winner, no points for the loser. VSU1 is each person scored points. VPO3.
VVFA is fall.
VPO3 0 is when you win but not by tech fall, and then other person doesn't score any
Could
points.
you
so like
please
4,
read
0,
the terms
5,
in French,
0.
Kyle?
No. I can't.
Parlez-vous
Well, they don't.
français?
They don't have them in French here. VPO1 is when you win like 5-1, 5-2. So it's not just some cryptic system that we made up. That's what's in the UWW rule book. So that's what we're using.
So take it up with UWW if you don't like it.
No, I'm not trying to be mean. Just letting Jeremy Baker know why. Okay, it's time. We're ready to talk Free Britney.
Oh, God.
You staying on, Ben? You should.
I will stay on and listen. I probably will not participate because I did not watch and I don't know anymore.
Okay, well, this I think is going to be... JD watched half of it. He was watching some of it at the office yesterday. Tyler, go ahead and put yourself on here, man. This is producer Tyler finally getting his face on the show.
What's up, Tyler?
Yes, always
Man,
behind the
legend.
camera, joining the camera for a little Britney Spears talk because it seems like you need the support, Bracky.
I do. It's good that at least one member of this show watched it with me.
Well, we were going to talk about how we were going to do this. So I have some notes, a couple quotes. I'm not sure if you want to share some thoughts and then just dive right into it.
Yeah, so it was cool. I liked the beginning was kind of like a trip down memory lane because when I was growing up, Britney Spears was like on top of the world. She was like the most famous music artist there probably was at the time. So it was cool to see all that stuff. I couldn't believe she was. I didn't know she was from Louisiana either. That seemed really random to me. Did not know that.
Yeah, definitely. That plays a big part into, I think, everything because she was very Southern and innocent coming up. And then she was just thrown into this superstar type world.
Yep. It was crazy that she was performing "Hit Me Baby One More Time" in freaking malls. Like that's where she like first got that song popular, performing in malls.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
she started off on TV and then basically just going around malls and then eventually signing her record deal. But she was in the industry from the time she was like 3 or 4 years old. She was thrown right into it. So I have a few quotes here if you want to go to these, Bracky. That's
Let's
just
do
2
it.
from the dad and 1 from the brother, which I think kind of frames everything pretty well. So one point early in the doc, the dad is quoted saying, "I just want a boat." I think they were asking, "What do you think about this? What do you think about this?" And he was like, "I don't care. I just want a boat." And that just kind of sums up he was just in it for the money. And then later on, after all the court proceedings, he's then quoted saying, "The state of California decides what's best for my daughter," which just made me laugh because that's kind of a general, not so caring statement that a state can decide everything for me. And then the last one I have from the brother, which I'm paraphrasing here a little bit, but he basically said, "All the women in this family are strong-minded. It kind of sucks." So very misogynistic vibes, and just you can tell that it's something from the whole family.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, they're always wanting to do what they want to do and like say what they want to say. It's like it's so annoying.
So, and you can tell that it's deeply rooted with from the time she started to the conservatorship, however you say the word now.
It's crazy to see. It's crazy to see how the media treated her.
Yeah, the paparazzi was wild.
The paparazzi was wild, and then like all the questions like people asked her, like they would be canceled for today, and people are trying to retroactively go back and cancel them for asking these kind of questions.
Like what? Give us an example of something.
Well, like the fact that they were asking her when she's like 18 in these like huge press conferences if she's a virgin.
They did that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
They're asking like all kinds of inappropriate questions like that. Like you can't do that.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so people are trying to like retroactive. Who is it? Diane Sawyer. Was
Diane
one of the big
Sawyer.
ones.
She's done.
Which I don't know what she's doing anymore, anyways. And then I actually have a quote so one of the reporters. There was I think it was after one of her like meltdowns where she attacked the SUV with like a golf club or something. And so the producer's asking the reporter who was around when that happened. And at one point he literally said she never gave any hints about this happening. And then the producer followed that up with, what about when she asked you to leave? So just the fact that the reporters that time, there were no boundaries, paparazzi. And you kind of saw it if you watched Tiger Woodstock at the same time, similar type upbringings or challenges they face with the media, just like always being in their information, always being in their grill, never any free time. So I was going to kind of flip that and ask you, Ben, did you ever experience anything like that where you felt like media was trying to pull you down when you were your most successful, or just getting hard questions you didn't think were reasonable or related to anything you were doing?
No, I actually don't feel like it's been media. I feel like it's just random people. And that's kind of, I always say, like, I got on the forums when I was 15 years old in Wisconsin and kind of, said some outlandish things, which all of which came true pretty much. And people, that group mentality, people have been trying to crap on me ever since. And that's just part of it. I mean, that's just part of being a public figure, I feel like. And I know some people really want to watch their behavior and try to please the masses. The masses will not be pleased. So just be who you are, and it's much easier that way.
Getting back to like what the media and stuff was saying, the wife of the governor of Maryland said that she wished she could shoot Britney Spears.
Jeez. What?
Like said that publicly.
What?
Yes, because she thought she was setting a bad example for girls for how she like dressed and danced in her music videos and stuff like that. And I forget who it was, like asked Britney about that, and Britney's like, "Oh my gosh, like that's mean." But she was like, "I wish I could shoot her." You can't say that. You can't just say you wish you could kill people.
Wow.
So the paparazzi were absolutely total weirdos, and they had a few of them on the documentary. And what Tyler was saying, the guy, they were like, why? Like, she clearly didn't want this. She's telling you to leave her alone. And he's like, no, she said, leave me alone that day. Like, just leave me alone this day. I can come back any other time. And they were saying that pictures of Britney sometimes, if they were like good enough, would sell for $1 million.
$1 million?
That's what they said.
For a picture?
That's what they said.
Come on, bro.
That's what they said.
This was like peak in like very early paparazzi days, where this was the first time, or early on, where like you had crowds of media following around. So before that, I think it was the availability of the photos were a lot more rare. That you wanted to. That's where all the money was. But the paparazzi, I think the craziest thing was none of them had any shame, like looking back at it.
Yeah,
they're all
they
like
didn't
proud
care.
of what they did.
Yeah, they did
Really?
not care.
That's great.
Yeah, they were almost bragging. They were like excited to be on the dock to talk about, oh, back in the day, I was getting those photos of Britney making all that money, when in reality, they were the problem.
They straight up asked him, like, do you feel like you guys contributed to her like lashing out? And her like middle break's like, no, I don't think, no, that's not us. But we saw it in Last Dance with Michael Jordan. Remember, he was like, I can't leave my hotel room. I can't walk anywhere. Like, it just drained on him.
Yeah.
Like, the hordes of crowds that were walking everywhere. And, I mean, her car couldn't move in a lot of these places because the camera people would just literally stand in front of the car and they're taking 1 million pictures. She couldn't, unless she just wanted to run them over, which she should have done. And she did freak out the one night. She was when her and Federline split and she was wanting to see the kids, he wouldn't let her in to see the kids, and she just like drove to like a gas station to like sit there and like, I don't know, compose her thoughts, whatever. And the paparazzi kept bothering her, and she took a umbrella that was in the car and just attacked one of their cars with it. It was pretty awesome. Let's see here. What other notes I had? Speaking of Federline, was there a bigger douchebag than that guy? It's like you should have seen Ben. You should have seen the clothes he was wearing and just like his look. Oh man, what a douche!
Was that a setup by Hollywood, or did they meet organically, some sort?
I think they met organically some way. Something, I don't know. He was trying to be a rapper or something. I think he was pretty terrible. I don't know. But to me, it all kind of comes down to going back to the conservatorship and like how it all happened. It really seems like she had 2 children with Federline, and then they split soon after the second one, and it seemed like she was just like depressed and getting pulled in a million different directions. She can't walk out of her house, and she has all these demands appearance-wise, and then her marriage is falling apart, but she wants to be with the kids, and they're in this custody battle. And so she had like a couple mental breakdowns with all that stuff going on, and it seems like the family just took advantage of that. The second time that she got taken to the hospital, her dad and as I mentioned in the Alien Hours, they just filed for to be the conservator over her, and they won. And then what was also interesting, they had a lady on the documentary talking about how these things work, because she worked in the courts and dealt with them all the time. And I think she actually was involved in Britney's original court proceedings about it. Is anyone who gets put under one of these, you never see them get it reversed. Like, she's like, it doesn't happen. Like, they can't get out of it once it happens. And she's like, and usually it's with elderly people who are near the end of their life anyways, but not with a 20-something-year-old. And then it was funny, after that lady got done talking, like this black screen came up and text came up, and it was like, after this interview, this lady joined Jamie Spears' legal team in like the conservatorship fight. Yeah, it's a setup, Ben.
Yeah, at the end, one of the lawyers, they said basically that it was a high-functioning conservator, whatever that. I can't say that word. Not even gonna try. But high-functioning, and the lawyer
no one
like,
can say
that
it.
doesn't exist.
It's weird.
They're basically like this. What they're saying, Brittany has never happened. Like, that's never been in the court system before. You're not supposed to be high-functioning and under one of these.
Damn.
Someone says Kevin Federline was a backup dancer for her, and that's how they met.
Yes.
So, but anyways, yeah, it was really interesting. The judge said she wasn't in the mental state to hire her own attorney, which seems wild to me because she hired a very good one in LA, and they appointed her some court-appointed PUD. It is some random.
PUD. That's a great word. I haven't heard that in a while, Bracky. Good word.
And they wouldn't let her attorney that she wanted to represent see the medical paperwork that they had that said she wasn't fit to decide who her attorney was. So I don't know, man. It's crazy.
And then I got one last note, not really even related to Brittany, but John Hurley was featured on the doc, and he's probably the worst Family Feud host of all time.
I don't even know who that is.
He was the white hair, like silver-haired guy. You'd recognize him.
I mean, I liked Family Feud when I was a kid, but I don't remember that one.
I think it was short-lived. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for having me on, Bracky. I'm gonna go back to being the guy behind the camera playing the Don Bradley clip when requested.
You're the man, Tyler. I know the wrestling world appreciates you. Thank you for helping me through that. I'm just gonna go through a few other notes that I had, just kind of random. I think I might have gotten everything. The Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, they started running together. What a trio that was. They were wild.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think that's it. It just shows like how sketchy everything was. And you get to see a lot more videos and hear people who are more well versed in the topic talk about all the things that I kind of glossed over in the Alien Hour. She literally controls. They get into the Instagram at the end too, and these two girls have just like run a podcast just talking about Britney's Instagram post, and they get like a voicemail call in like tip that Britney was placed in the mental hospital against her will, and then it turns out to be true. It's wild stuff. So, all right, we ready to go? Oh, we have Tuesday headlines. Anyone got Tuesday headlines? I just realized. What?
Colton Schultz goes undefeated.
Oh, okay. So Colton Schultz top 5.
Top 5. Yep.
JD, you got anything?
Andrew Spey dies of frostbite in Iowa City, Iowa.
That actually might happen. Just be careful with him on ice. He fell at Big Tens one year really hard in Minneapolis.
He was not built for the cold in the ice.
No, not built for the cold. My Tuesday headline, I'm going to go with by the end of this calendar year, Britney will be free.
Oh, my God. All right. On that note, I'm out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, Tyler, you can play us out. Thanks for listening. We'll see you Tuesday to break down all the D1 action, all the action at Captain's Cup, America's Cup. Hope you have a good one. CP will be back. And peace.